Hey, what's up, everyone? Usually, I really like knives that could have multiple purposes, whether it be the utility, self-defense, and whatnot. Today I have a knife that really isn't probably a fantastic overall knife for lots of reasons, but it's got a specific purpose, and I think that it would be good at that specific purpose. No, so I'm not going to tell you it is good because I never tried it for its purpose, but as you can tell here, you might be familiar, this is the Spyderco Rescue 3. And also, as you can tell, it has got some mean looking serrations. Those can do some damage. There you go. So this particular knife has a 3.6 inch blade. It was made in Seki City, Japan. And it has VG10 steel. Hope you can see that okay. VG10 steel, Seki City, Japan. It has the traditional FRN handle. And I'm usually not a big fan of these, but I don't know, it kind of feels like it kind of goes with this particular knife. Tough to explain. Like a lot of Spydercos, like like the Para 2 and the Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3, it has the 4-position pocket clip, so it could be tip up, tip down, and left to right hand carry. And then you have the Spyderco Rescue 3 logo there. Now, this does not have a deep carry pocket clip, which probably isn't a bad thing with a knife like this, considering its use. And it has a lockback mechanism, kind of like, in the idea of the Delica. There we go. Now, this is a new knife, so it's not really flickable, but I think after you use it a few times, it would be. Is that back lock, totally solid, no blade play at all. Solid lock up. Get a little jimping back here. So, you get a little kind of choil going. So, now basically Rescue 3, as you probably figured out from what I've been saying, this would be kind of like a rescue knife. This would be an awesome knife. If I were a police officer or a firefighter or an EMT, I would love to have a knife like this. And as you can see, this one right here, it's about 3.6 inch blade. And the handle is, let's see, about 4 3/4 inches. And then in total, we're looking at about 8 1/4 inches. Now, you are probably like me if you're watching this video and you have some knives that have seatbelt cutters on them. I've never tried using one of them. I have been very tempted to. I should really go to a junkyard one day and just kind of, see if I can, rip a seatbelt. But I don't have much faith in them. I don't think they'd actually cut a seatbelt. Now, if someone said to me, this is good at cutting seatbelts, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, just look at those serrations there. And I got to tell you, besides being, a good tool for someone who's, in a first responder type position, if you have the extra money, something like this wouldn't be bad to keep like in your door handle. I tend to keep a knife in the door handle of my car, just in case I need it for something. Like today, for example, I went out, and prior to leaving the house, I was using my knife to open a couple of boxes up and some packages. I forgot my knife at home. I had a backup in my door handle. This would be a very, very good one to have in the door handle, because if you ever are in a situation where you might have to do it, cause seatbelt, it's there for you. Maybe keeping it in your console, so it's there for you. Now, this isn't the best knife for your many EDC tasks. I mean, as you can tell over here, you got a little bit of a point there if you needed to puncture something, but not really much of one. And you don't have a lot of belly if you need to do certain things, but for its intended purpose, it's a very limited purpose, I agree, it is fantastic for that job. The other thing, and it's these little details that I wouldn't have noticed at first, but you see how it kind of comes over like this? And I think that's if you're trying to cut things off, like whether it be a piece of clothing to get at a wound, if it's to be a seatbelt, it's dull here. So, you think about it. If someone's cutting a seatbelt off you, do you want to have a knife that's sharp and pointy at the top? like a Para 3 or a Paramilitary 2, I wouldn't, because that just increases the risk of you getting hurt. Something like this, it's dull at the front, and then it's all business over here for where you have to get your seatbelt cut off or whatever. Also good, I would think, for rope or anything really that's fibrous. And then the other good thing is you have these 4-position clips. So as a regular run-of-the-mill EDC knife, would I want to carry this every day? Nope. Do I think it could be a good backup blade? Yeah, sure. Do I think it could excel for a first responder? Darn right. Like I said, if I were an EMT or a firefighter, I had to carry a knife on me, I'm thinking this would be the one I would choose. Now, as far as being reliable and holding up, I have nothing to base that on, because like I said, this is a brand new knife. I have never even cut anything with this knife. Just out of the box, you can see the Spidey flick isn't working yet, but easy to open, easy to close. The lockback is, it's doing its thing. You still do it with one hand if you need to. But like I said, I think at that one very narrow, very limited job, I think it absolutely excels. And I don't mean that as an insult to it. I mean that as a compliment, because when you go to the tools, the hardware store, and you see tools, there are so many tools, like knives, that can excel at a lot of different jobs. But, jack of all trades, master of none in a lot of cases. But this is one that excels at its one single thing. I mean, let's use a hammer drill for instance. Yeah, you might not have use every day for a hammer drill, but when you need one, you want a good one. Same case with this. This isn't the kind of thing you're going to need every day, but if the situation comes around where you do need this particular type of knife, it's a good one to have. So just wanted to put that out there in case anyone is searching the internet and they want a little more information on this particular knife, because it's a pretty cool one, and also for its size, I think the size works, and it's fairly light. Like I said, as a general knife, I don't think it works. As for that specific purpose, pretty darn good. All right, guys, please consider subscribing if you're not already, and hit the like button if you like what you saw. Talk to you later.